newspaper, but they have a weekly on television, AAJ KAL, television. So they said it is very important that we will come to you to have an interview on something which is very important, on discovery of India. I said I hardly know anything about the film except that I know the director, I know the team, that's all. And I know that they have been working around the clock to catch up with the time. No, you have to tell something about Nehru. How do you look at Nehru? I said that has already been said by Azad, Abul Kalam Azad. So what else do you want? No, we have to come and see you. I said, no, tomorrow I'm very busy and I have to do a lot of my own work, and then I am already pledged to do something for television. Then I don't know. And then I thought that they would track you down and would get in touch with you. So you could be photographed. They didn't. So that's good. But you never know, they may come any time. They may catch you somewhere.
I have no problems.
Huh? You get a shave. So I wanted to look respectable not only because I have to face you, but even otherwise, since I have to go out, that's why I did it.
Is that kind of sort of your Bhadralok coming out, or is it?
Well, it's not exactly that. It all depends. I remember once I was at home. I was not to go out the whole day, so I didn't get my shave. It was at about 11 o'clock. Somebody pressed the button and I opened the door. I found a very charming girl waiting outside the door and asked me, "Can I see Mr. Mrinal Sen?" I said, "That's me." So my name is Dipti Naval. "Ah, are you Dipti Naval?" Because before that I didn't see any of our films. I said, "Please come in." And I offered her a seat and she said, "Can I feel comfortable?" And she lifted her feet and felt very, very comfortable, as if this is her house. And that gave me some encouragement. And I was very much aware of the fact that my beard is still there because I was not properly shaven and I looked haggard. But I was feeling very, very awkward. And I said, "Will you give me a couple of minutes?" And I went inside. I asked my son to come here. I said, "There's a very charming girl waiting for you. Have some words with him and let me get a shave." And I got a shave and I came back and I felt very confident about myself. And I told her that too, that why did I go out? I wanted to have a shave. Did I know that had I known that you would come here, I would have been properly dressed. So this is the kind of Bhadralok in me which comes up at times, just to look a little respectable.
Particular kind of a locality. Most of your life you've lived in this kind of locality. What is your relationship to this and the work that you do?
Well, frankly, I don't live in my own house. I have been moving from one place to another. I stay in a house for, say, 10 years or more, and then I have to look for another one, a better one. So now I am in a 3-roomed flat, and that was my ambition, to house myself in a 3-room flat. But now I feel that I need more space. So what happens to me, so from one area I go to another area, but not outside South Calcutta. I'm getting used to this place. And if you ask me to go to North Calcutta, I think it will be extremely difficult for me to adjust myself to that. So what I do, I hardly have any relationship with the environment as such, except that I like this place and I don't know these people. But I know them by faces, but I'm not familiar with them, but I have very good relation with all these people. I always keep a fixed deposit smile on my face. Whenever I go out and talk to people, I say, "Hello, how are you?" And they are also very nice to me. And I have no problem with them except when they come for the subscriptions for the pujas and other things. I am allergic to all these pujas for obvious reasons. So I get very annoyed with these people when they start doing like this. And they come and they become very exacting at times. not with me, but with my neighbors. For instance, there is a Gujarati family on this other side of this flat. And I find quite often, I find them, the chanda wallas, the subscription wallas, to be very, very nasty with them. So I take it up. I fight with them. And that is one reason why these people also like me. So this is a particular house where there are so many tenants, Marwaris, Gujaratis, South Indians, well, and so I have very good relation with them, that's all. But I don't have any the kind of communication with them because, frankly, I don't have the same wavelength with them. There is hardly any common ground of communication with them other than being very good neighbors. That's all.
But your own very conscious sort of a thing, or is it because you like being in these kind of surroundings because you find some inspiration for your films?
I haven't tested it, how it's like living in a posh area. I have never had any experience as such, but then I have a feeling that I would feel very uncomfortable. My wife, for that matter, would feel very, very uncomfortable if she has to live in a very posh area. I'm sure that she will be denied of the right kind of communication she wants to have with the people. So that is why, I also feel quite comfortable with this kind of environment, the middle class environment, and with the, if you walk a few steps, you find the slums and other things. Well, I don't mind that. And I think I'm very familiar with this, and I feel quite friendly. With this thing.
Do you draw characters from your film, from your surroundings?
Characters, I try to capture, I watch the people. I try to capture certain aspects of them, but then not that I just pick them up and ask them to act in my films. It has happened at some points, when I have to shoot in my area, I ask some of my people here, the neighbors, to act as well. They do. And they haven't failed me as such, but this is just to lend a certain credibility to the environment, that's all. That is what they do. But otherwise, I have not been able to find actors in my own area. I may find, but I am not very particular about it. But to be able to create an atmosphere and to lend credibility to it, I try to have them the way they are. And what do? I try to capture the movements, the way they behave, the way they talk about. For instance, this Gujarati family, when in the evening they have their they switch it on, their television set, they keep the door open. And this howling sound, it's terrible. And that is and they play it so loud. And this is something which I am thinking of using in one of my films. I have not done it so far. And this is terrible. This is terrible. And this is one thing which I think I should have it. For instance, you were interviewing me, and I find somebody upstairs, grinding something. That creates a lot of problems. And this is also something which I'm trying to use in some of my films.
Tell me about this house.
My current film, Ek Din Achanak, you find a little bit of myself in the film, and my environment, my family, partly is in the film. You asked me about the autobiographical part in my films. Well, you find a little bit of such things in this film, and that's why the film was primarily shot in the studios. The set was more or less in the image of where I stay, except that the rooms were larger. This is the film I'm now making. It is under production. The film has just been shot, and the set, it was primarily shot in the studios, and the set is more or less in the image of this house where I live. And this is the living room where the people come, and this has been made into the the room of the chief, the head of the family. He is a teacher, so there are lots of books around, more than what I have, because I am not an academic, but he is. And this room is larger. This set, you find it larger. But otherwise, the whole thing is like this, except that I made a little bit of changes. I have only one son, but this man in the film has 3 children, so you need more rooms. So this is my kitchen, but it was made into a small room for the son who is trying to get into business. And this is what you have the the dining space. So it is exactly the same thing, what I did. And this is exactly the same thing, a little passage, from the entrance. So we have used it like this. And then here we have we have a toilet, but what we did, we didn't use the toilet. We had the kitchen, and then there is another.
You talk again.
This one. So the kitchen is here, and then here is also another toilet, but I have used it at the toilet. And there is only one toilet and bathroom, and that's all. And this is the room. It was intended for my son and his wife, but since they are in Chicago studying, so I now own this one. I wouldn't call it a bedroom for myself, because we have another bedroom, my wife and I, but this is what I use for my writing, for having some intimate talks with some people, and that's why we do it. And for instance, my wife is very annoyed with me because I am using this one, because I have not been able to have a cover for this, so I do like this. And this morning I knew that you would come, and my wife wanted to tidy up things in the room, and she said, "What is this? You can't do that. What will he think about it? So you don't have the money to have a cover." I said, "Well, they will think that I'm like this absent-minded artist."
What is
That's
that
good.
photograph you have next to you? Is this
Photograph. This is one. It was photographed by my still photographer Subhash Nandi, and I used it in one of my films in Kandahar, when I had a small sequence of the photographer. Nasiruddin Shah played the photographer, and that was shot in his studio, and so I used it. And after that, I own it now. And in this film, Magdin Achanak, I used some of the materials here. For instance, you come here, not exactly this one, there was another, an icon, a Georgian icon which I used. And then you will find another one, a beautiful one. I got it from, I didn't use it, this becomes too much for the character whom I have been portraying. But then there is something which is also very important. This is what I got from Bangladesh. This is what I got from Bangladesh.
We'll get this. This is what I got from Bangladesh. You can turn this side. This way. No, this way.
This one I got from Bangladesh.
Little ahead so you get a little light. Okay.
This one I got from Bangladesh. It was given to me last year when I visited Bangladesh, and it's a wonderful one, Kantha as they call it. Beautiful, and this is what I used in my film. And this room has been made into the room of the 2 daughters of the academic in my film. And then we had the same balcony like this. These books partly belong to me and partly to my son. He is studying computers. He's doing his thesis on computers, on artificial intelligence. So you find a lot of books on this. And then I have also used in this film the balcony here, and also there is another room. And you may be wondering, where is my wife gone? Has she disappeared, run away from me? And this is a common feature in cinema and in our society. But she is there in the other room, possibly so. Maybe in the kitchen.
Can you call her here?
Gita? Gita? Khali ajo? এটা তোমাকে দেখতে যাই জেনে এসো না, পালিয়ে যাওনি? হ্যাঁ, শেষ ভাবি না কি আমি বলছিলাম যে এত ঘরে ঘুরছি, বউকে দেখতে পাচ্ছ না, তা কি বউকে পালিয়ে
I
গেছে?
was in the toilet and now I am free.
তা কি আর তুমি যে সেটটা দেখলে তার ভেতর কি যে একদিন আচানক তাতে কি এটার সঙ্গে মিল পাচ্ছ কি?
হ্যাঁ, খানিকটা তো আছে, কারণ ঘর থেকে ঘর দেখা যাওয়া, ডাইনিং স্পেস থেকে ঘরগুলো দেখা যাওয়া, সিটিং রুম অ্যান্ড বেডরুম, এটা এই বাড়ির খানিকটা আন্দাজ আছে আমার মনে হয়।
Do you mind if they want to see our bedroom?
আবার বেডরুম? সেম?
Is it in good shape at the moment?
No, not at all. Very clumsy and very
But do you
dirty for only for you.
Can I ask you one question? How is it living with Mrinal Sen? He seems to be so full of energy all the time, so full of ideas and all. How do you cope up with it? You can answer in Bengali if you want.
আমি মানে এক পাগল নিয়ে ঘর করার মতনই প্রায় অবস্থা, কিন্তু কি হয় আমার অভ্যেস হয়ে গেছে। আমি জানি একটা ইউজুয়ালি একজন হাজব্যান্ড যা করে, যেভাবে তার কাছ থেকে কিছু পাওয়া যায়, সেগুলো আমি কোনোদিনই পাই না বা পাবো না, এবং সেটা আমি আশাও করি না।
Just to interrupt her, because I keep on talking all the time. When she said pagal, I take it as a compliment because it reminds me of what Shakespeare once said, genius is to madness alike.
Oh, not at all. কাজের সময় ওর একটা ব্যাপার হয়, কাজের সময় তো কাজ নিয়ে ব্যস্ত থাকে, আর অসময়ে অসম্ভব কথা বলে, এবং লোক প্রায় আমরা একটা বাংলা ভাষা ব্যবহার করি পাকড়াও করা, ও লোক পাকড়াও করে তাদের সঙ্গে গল্প করতে আরম্ভ করে, এবং তখন আমি যদি কথা বলি, আর কথা বললে গোলমাল হয়। ছবি করার সময় কথা বললে আমি একটা কথা বলতে পারি যে আমি আর কারো স্ত্রীর মতন আমি সব জিনিস ওর খুব ভালো, এটা আমি বলি না। এবং আজ পর্যন্ত কোনো ছবি, একটা দুটো ছাড়া, ছবি দেখে ছবিটা অসাধারণ, তুমি জিনিয়াস, তোমার এই ছবির মধ্যে কোথাও কোনো ইয়ে নেই, একবার পারফেক্ট, এটা আমি কখনো বলি না। কাজে আমার সঙ্গে ঝগড়া হয়, আমার সঙ্গে অনেক সময় খুবই রাগারাগি হয়, তো এই নিয়ে একটা চলে আর কি, চলে যায়।
What do you think of his films? I mean, the fact that he uses his environment or his whole house sometimes. Do you find that it somehow intrudes into your privacy, and you find that you would like to separate his cinema and his private life?
No, I think আমি মনে করি যে ওর বাড়ির সম্পর্ক, নিজের ব্যক্তিগত জীবন ওর ছবির মধ্যে অনেকখানি আসে, খুবই আসে, এবং ওর চরিত্রটা বোধ হয় কোনো না কোনো চরিত্রের ভেতর দিয়ে আমি ওর নিজের চরিত্রটা কিছুটা বেরিয়ে আসে বলে আমার মনে হয়। সেরকম অনেক ছবি আছে, অনেক, বিশেষ করে আমি তো একদিন আচানকের কথা বলবো, সেটা হয়তো অনেকখানি বলবো না, এটা একেবারে পুরোপুরি তার নিজের জীবন, কিন্তু তাহলেও অনেকখানি এই যে শ্রীরাম লাগুর যে চরিত্র, বাবার চরিত্র, আমার মনে হয়
a possible affair with a student of his, that's not true.
বলা যায় না কিছু, সেগুলো কোনো পরিষ্কার কথা নয়, কাকে ভালো লেগেছে কি লাগেনি সেটা আমার বড় ব্যাপার মনে হয় না, কিন্তু তবু আমার মনে হয় ওর নিজের মিল ভয়ঙ্কর আছে একদিন আচানকের মধ্যে। এবং আমি স্ত্রী হিসেবে ওখানেও স্ত্রী যেমন মনে হয় যে কীরকম স্বামীর কাছ থেকে অনেক কিছু পাইনি বা পেয়েছে, আমি সেটা বলবো না, আমি এইটা বলবো যে হ্যাঁ, এরা কাজের সময়ে বা যখন ছবির মধ্যে ডুবে থাকে বা কাজ করে, তখন সত্যি অসম্ভব স্বার্থপর হয়, অসম্ভব রকমের নেগলেক্ট করে সংসারকে, সেটা আমি মেনে নিতে পারি, আমি বুঝি কেন, তার জন্য আমার কোনো খারাপ লাগা নেই।
I'm very grateful to her, but then at the same time I must tell her, don't get flattered. The two Soms have saved me to some extent, and two Soms have given me some position in the society.